Hey guys, Thomas the Jr. here, aka Mustached Tom, and welcome to my review of the Reboot, simply known as It. Of course, this is based off of the Stephen King novel, and of course, the original version of the movie, well, It. Uh, so, just to get my quick thoughts about the original movie, it wasn't that great. It didn't really hold up, and I don't think it was really that great to begin with. Um, as far as this reboot is concerned, it followed more of the sort of jump scare tactics with the clown sort of uh, known as Pennywise running toward the kids or stuff like that. That's what it showed in the trailers, just a smidge, or him coming out of the projector, and that ended up the end result of that scene ended up being kind of ridiculous in it of itself. Some of its movements, or Pennywise movements, were pretty interesting. Like when it was like jaggling about, I don't know if that's even a word, but when he was dancing, it was stupid and silly and whatever. Anyways, getting to the main recap, if you will, uh, it mainly streamlines all the past events of. If you've seen the original It, you would know that it was these adults that were recalling their childhoods and seeing how they all connected and seeing all that stuff happen. They seemed to, in this movie, streamline all the backstory stuff into one cohesive movie at the very least. So there isn't a bunch of unnecessary backstory transition shots that need to be done here. So there is at least that, and it is able to also at the very least show some of the other stuff that happens, like what happens to the main character's brother, where he gets his arm bitten off and then he gets grabbed. In the original, we just see him getting, you just see the clown's face like opening up a little bit, and then it cuts away. But this movie does that as well, where later on in the movie, where it grabs the girl Beverly, and then it just sort of cuts away instantly, not really knowing what happened. But the kids will already assume that Pennywise took her to that his little hideout, and the only reason they were able to discover its location, even though they had seen it once before, is by showing a map of the sewers, and that's how they were able to see all the connecting dots, how everyone who died along the sewer lines, and it all connected back to one place. That place happened to be that house. The house happened to have main most of the main stuff happen near the end happen. Uh, So you have the kids, and they do an okay job as far as their acting abilities goes. Um, and then they make the father of Beverly, because they do focus on that. I feel like they focused on that story more than the other characters a little bit more. At least that's what it felt like to me. It felt like out of all the characters, she was like the second most important character to the main character, Bill, uh, who's looking for Georgie throughout the movie. And the rest of the kids do have some stuff going on, but I don't. It's like, it just doesn't gravitate as heavily, at least to me. I don't remember it doing that. And of course, you have the balloons and whatever, and that they use it more of a sort of look, go over there tool. And it's still sort of stupid, but whatever. The kids, some of them follow it when that time comes. Um, but yeah, her dad, Beverly's dad, is, you know, he does the grabs, and it's, whatever. And we see that, like in the original, Pennywise does go after one of the bully characters. I don't remember which one, but yeah, we end up finding out one of the main bully, like the main bully is like he gets like a knife to like kill the others with, uh, and mainly he had the cop who was also his father, trying to scare it some sense into him. So at some point in the movie, but he gets completely, transfixed into this whole state of mind of killing uh, everyone, including his father, with the knife that he got from Pennywise. So I'm kind of jumping around my little notes that I have in the background here. Um, I mean, if you've seen the original movie, it kind of has some parts that are the same. Like I said, it mainly streamlines all the backstory stuff into one movie, which is, again, convenient, but again, as I mentioned, there are parts that are just still a bit silly, but anyways, eventually all the kids, the little group there, eventually go into the house. They go into the house twice, and they go. I think one of those trips were a little bit unnecessary, or I don't know, but maybe it was because they ended up like leaving the house the first time, and then one of the kids' parents was like, "Oh, you should, like in the original, she's like, "Oh, you shouldn't hang out with the rest of them." And then later on, he's all like, "Yeah, he's the one with the inhaler. I forget his name, but he eventually joins the others. So that's all that it really establishes. So I don't know if that was really 100% necessary. Uh, and this movie does have at least some sort of interesting visual to it. At least with the whole kids floating when we see that scene near the end. We see all these kids like floating up in the air. We see Beverly floating up there because she was captured and brought back to that house and then back to that little inner area, and it was trying to use her to get to all the other kids, and of course they came when they found out she was taken. So they're over there getting their scared wits out of them. And oddly enough, we have some walkers in this movie, like some zombies. As soon as I saw it the first time, I was like, "Is that a walker? Like from The Walking Dead or something?" The designs very much look like something out of The Walking Dead. Even it happens like I want to say twice in the movie, so there's that little thing there. So, anyways, uh, eventually they get the Beverly down, and then I believe Ben was his name, the slightly fatter kid who like ends up like kissing her, and then like that saves her initially, and then they're able to run and try to grab Bill, who's still trying to chase Georgie, of course, who's like the first one taken down there. Um, and they actually grab a gun. I actually am kind of glad that they fixed that big problem in the original where it was like a slingshot. That's sort of really dumb. So at least they had an actual gun down there with them, and they actually do set that up with Mike, the black kid, who sees some walker hands come out of the house. Again, one of the walker moments. Sorry about that. Um, but yeah, uh, so after they're able to essentially catch up with Georgie, who's like a fake, obviously. So Bill like shoots him, and then he turns into, well, Pennywise or it. Um, and then from there they gain their bravery, and they are able to battle him with various weapons, and they pretty much like beat the hell out of him. until he's no more, and then they say they're no longer scared of him, and then they do a finishing blow or whatever. So after they come back up, the remaining kids, they all go back up. They make a promise to, if it ever comes back, they will come as well. And then we have our final scene where Bill gets, the main character also gets his little kiss moment with Beverly there. And as far as this movie goes, it's a reboot. It's also based off of a movie that wasn't really that great to begin with, honestly, in my opinion. I feel like this movie is only slightly better in some aspects, but also does have its dumb moments as well. So, I don't know. I think I'm stuck between a 5 or a 6 out of 10 for this movie. It's okay. I've seen better horror movies, and it's also apparently considered a drama, I guess. But there's that. So, I don't know. If you've seen the original and if the trailers got you hooked, I guess you can go ahead and see it. I don't think that'll do any harm. Apparently, it's already very successful. Uh, so I don't know if there will be like a sequel thing going on, if they're gonna focus on the adult aspect of it later on or something. I don't know what the plan is for that, but whatever. I don't really care. So that is my review for the reboot, simply known as It. And if you like this review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everybody, bye!